What if today, right now, is the day your comeback actually begins? Not next week when you feel ready, not when everything is perfect, but today, with one brave step forward. If you've been feeling stuck, scared, or unsure after losing your job, I want you to know something your story isn't over. You're just in the middle chapter, and this chapter, this is where you rise. Welcome to part 7 of our 7-part confidence booster series after job loss. If you've been following along, you've done some of the hardest inner work of your life. You've processed emotions, reclaimed your wins, shifted your body language, rewritten your story, rebuilt routine, and reconnected with your value. Today is about action. Not that kind that exhausts you, that kind that reminds you who you are. Let me tell you a secret about confidence after job loss. You don't need to feel ready to start moving. You just need to start moving to feel ready. Here's what Harvard psychologist Amy Cuddy discovered. Action changes how you feel, not the other way around. When you take even tiny steps forward after losing your job, your brain literally rewires itself. You don't wait for confidence to take action. You take action to build confidence. Neuroscience studies show when you take small actions, even something as simple as updating one line on your resume or sending one message, it lowers activity in your amygdala. That's your brain's fear center. That part that's been screaming danger since you lost your job starts calming down. But here's what most people do after job loss. They wait. They wait until they feel confident enough, ready enough, perfect enough. But confidence doesn't work that way. Your brain needs evidence that you're still capable. And the only way to create that evidence is through action. Small wins tell your brain, maybe I can do this. Maybe I'm not as broken as I thought. Every step you take, no matter how small, becomes proof that you're someone who moves forward, not someone who stays stuck. If this is already shifting something inside of you, hit that like button and subscribe, because we are building a community of people who refuse to stay stuck after job loss. And comment below with, I'm ready for my comeback, if you're feeling that spark of determination. You don't have to rebuild alone. If you're here right now, it means you've already done some of the hardest inner work of your life. Let me remind you how far you've come since losing your job. Please find all video links in the description. Part 1 was Feel It to Heal It. You learned, or you're going to learn, that your emotions after job loss aren't weakness, they're information. You stopped pretending you were fine and starting healing for real. Part 2 was Reclaim Your Wins. You remembered that your worth didn't disappear with your job title. You rediscovered evidence of your value that job loss tried to make invisible. Part 3 was Move Your Body, Shift Your Mind. You discovered that your body can lift your confidence in minutes, even when your mind is still catching up. Part 4, Rewrite Your Story. You learned how to talk about job loss without shame, transforming from victim language to empowered language. Part 5, Rebuild Routine. You created structure after job loss, not to be perfect, but to feel grounded and prove you still have control over something. Part 6, Reconnect with Value. You remembered that isolation is confidence's worst enemy, and you started reaching out and rebuilt connections. And now in part 7, this is where everything you learn becomes movement. This is where your inner work meets outer action. Here's what most people get wrong after comebacks after job loss. They think it's one big dramatic moment. But real comebacks are built from tiny, brave steps you repeat every single day. Your comeback after losing your job isn't destination, it's direction. It's not about finding the perfect job immediately. It's about becoming the person who moves forward instead of staying stuck. And yes, there are practical things you need to handle. Resume updates, cover letters, interview prep, maybe even shopping for interview clothes. But that's not what we are covering today. Today is about getting you emotionally ready to tackle those things without fear paralyzing you. Psychology calls this self-efficacy, the belief that you can create results. And here's how you build it after job loss, through small actions that prove to yourself that you're still capable. Maybe it's sending one message to someone in your network. Maybe it's researching one company for 5 minutes. Maybe it's updating one section of your LinkedIn profile. Maybe it's just getting dressed with intention instead of staying in pajama all day. The momentum rule after job loss works like this. Action builds energy, energy builds identity, identity builds confidence. And confidence creates more action. Let me tell you about the months I wasted after my own job loss. Because if you're procrastinating right now, you need to know you're not alone. And you need to know where this path leads. I spent months doing everything except the one thing I needed to do, apply for jobs. I convinced myself I was being productive. I went to every networking or breakfast event in town, easily half a day each time, without any tangible outcomes. I told myself I was building relationships. I started researching starting my own business. I spent weeks on business plans and market research. Why? Because it felt easier than applying for jobs. The fear level was lower because I had no experience in business, so I was blissfully unaware of how challenging it actually would be. I researched companies for days without applying to a single one. I'd find the perfect job posting, spend hours learning about the company, then nothing. I'd find another excuse. Needed to update my resume first. I should take that online course. Maybe I need more skills. Does this sound familiar? Here's the brutal truth. I was hiding in my own comfort zone. And that comfort zone was about to become very uncomfortable when my savings ran out. What finally changed everything? I stopped listening to other people's opinion and advice. I saw one opportunity, applied immediately, followed up, and didn't talk to anyone about it until after I got the interview. And you know what happened? I got the job. I was proud, relieved, and crazy happy. My confidence grew by 100% overnight. Not because I was perfect, but because I finally took action despite of being scared. All right, it's time for some tough love. If you've been following this series for all 7 parts, but you're still making excuses about why you can't take action after your job loss, we need to talk. I'm not ready yet. I need to learn more first. I'm too old. I don't have the right skills. The market is terrible. I need to feel more confident. Stop! Just stop! You know what those are. Those are fear talking. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of rejection. Fear of starting over. And I get it. Losing your job shakes you to the core. But here's what fear doesn't tell you. Staying in your comfort zone after job loss isn't actually comfortable. Your comfort zone is about to become very uncomfortable when your money runs out. When the bills keep coming but the income doesn't. When months turn into years and you are still making the same excuses. You're thinking you're protecting yourself by not trying. But you're actually guaranteeing the thing you're most afraid of, staying stuck, feeling worthless, proving to yourself that maybe you aren't really good enough. Here's the truth about taking action after job loss. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the skills. You don't need to feel completely confident. You just need to be willing to try. Because on the other side of that fear, that's where your comeback is waiting. That's where your confidence lives. That's where you remember who you actually are. So here's what I want you to do after you finished watching this video. Don't create some elaborate 30-day plan. Don't wait until Monday. Don't research for 3 more hours. I want you to write down your own 48-hour action plan, just 48 hours. 2 simple days where you commit to taking actions despite of fear. Maybe day 1 is updating your resume and reaching out to one person. Maybe day 2 is applying to 2 jobs and taking a walk to celebrate your courage. You decide, you know what you've been avoiding. You know what needs to happen next. Your comeback after job loss won't feel dramatic. It will feel like breathing again, like trying one more time, like choosing hope over fear, like choosing movement over staying stuck. Your future needs you to show up. Your next chapter is calling your name. And it starts the moment you stop making excuses and start making moves. You've got this, not because you're perfect, but because you are brave enough to try. If this video lit a fire under you, please hit that like button and subscribe, because your comeback story matters and others need to see it's possible. Comment below with "I'm stepping into my comeback" and tell me what your first brave action is going to be. Let's hold each other accountable. Remember, you don't have to rebuild alone. We rise together. Confidence after job loss, layoff or redundancy, your comeback starts here.